Hello, my name is Brieanna Frye. I'm an executive chef for Parkhurst Dining, and I've been with Parkhurst for 7 years. The thing that I love about working with Parkhurst is that I have the freedom to create and make my own menus, which allows me to give my guests the foods that they like and love. I'm going to show you how to make a pan-seared flank steak salad today that has caramelized onions, gorgonzola cheese, cherry tomatoes, and house-made potato sticks with a red wine vinaigrette. So while we're preparing this, you want to take your knife and trim off any excess fat that you see that you don't want on your end product. Once your steak is ready, next thing you want to do is prepare your spice rub. Our spices are already mixed together, so we're going to put them in a bowl with 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. You want to mix it up until it becomes like a paste. Once you have that paste, you want to spread it evenly over the beef. The spices that we used are some crushed red pepper flakes. We have some black pepper, white pepper, Montreal steak seasoning, onion powder, granulated garlic, and salt on both sides. Now that your pan is smoking hot, first thing we want to do is put a little olive oil in it. Steak goes in. You want to keep the heat nice and even so that your steak stays seared and doesn't start sweating. You're going to want to cook your steak about 5 or 6 minutes on each side. That'll give you a nice, rare steak. The next thing we want to do is make the caramelized onions. Once your onion's peeled, you want to cut it into what is called a French cut. You want the half circles pointing away and towards you, and the French cut is the opposite way. Now that we have our onion cut, you want to caramelize it. Again, you want your pan to be hot, a little bit of olive oil, and just toss your onions in. Your onions are going to have to cook for about 10 minutes. You don't want to stir them too much. It'll bring the sugars out. It'll make them stick to the pan. You also don't want to stir them too much because you want them to get that nice dark brown color. In the end, you want your caramelized onions to have this color and texture. You want them to be done, but not too done. Next step to making this salad is doing potato sticks. To do that, you want to take your potato, put it on the mandolin at the top, and with slow, even pressure, slowly go down. When you have enough, you just take them and you have your oil already hot. It should be about 350 degrees. It's hot enough, so we're going to go ahead and drop these in. When making these, I like to give them a stir. That way they don't all clump together. And these should only take about 2 to 3 minutes. You want to pull them out when they start getting a little brown color to them. When your potato sticks are finished, they should look like this. I like to drain them on a little bit of paper towel in a pan. That way they're not sitting in oil and they crisp up a little better. As soon as they come out of the oil, you want to hit them with some salt and pepper. The last thing we need to make before we can assemble our salad is the vinaigrette dressing. To make the vinaigrette dressing, you put your Dijon mustard into a bowl. A little bit of sugar, red wine vinegar, and olive oil. When you're incorporating the olive oil, you want to give your mustard and vinegar a stir first. Mix that all together really well and slowly incorporate your oil. You're going to create an emulsion and your dressing will stay together. Now that we have all our ingredients in place, we can cut our flank steak and start to assemble our salad. When cutting the flank steak, you want to have the flank steak pointing away from you and have your knife on an angle. You don't want to go straight up and down. Real thin slices on an angle. Now we can assemble our salad. You're going to take some greens. I'm using mixed baby greens, already pre-washed. Your caramelized onions. Gorgonzola blue cheese, just crumble it up. Local grape tomatoes. Your flank steak. Drizzle it with a little bit of vinaigrette. And top it with your potato sticks. And you have your hand-seared flank steak salad with caramelized onions, cherry tomatoes, gorgonzola cheese, and your potato sticks with your red wine vinaigrette. This is a delicious meal that you can turn into a fun family activity and enjoy.